Word from the Lord. In the Gospel of Mark, sound person, if you would help me out, I have nothing from the monitors on the pulpit. And I thank God, I think I see my grandbaby back there in the back. She made it, amen. And looking around, she thinks she's the star of everything. Amen. We thank God for them making it safely here to Deerfield Beach. Thank you very much, sound person. If you would join me for the allotted time that I have remaining in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, verse number 25 through 34. A very familiar passage to many of you in here, and I pray that you would not tune a deaf ear towards me as we make an attempt to labor in this word. Our theme talks about envisioning the future exceptionally through faith. Listen at the word of God from the Gospel of Mark, chapter number 5, verse number 25, from the New King James Version of God's holy and divine word. It says, "Now a certain woman had a flow of blood for 12 years and had suffered many things from many physicians. She had spent all that she had and was no better, but rather grew worse. And when she heard about Jesus, she came behind him in the crowd and touched his garment. For she said, 'If only I may touch his clothes, I shall be made well.' Immediately the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of the affliction. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that power had gone out of him, turned around in the crowd and said, 'Who touched my clothes?' But his disciples said to him, 'You see the multitude thronging you, and you say, Who touched me?' And he looked around to see her who had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell down before him and told him the whole truth. And he said to her, 'Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your affliction.'" I want to take a moment tonight and just to share with us, Florida East Coast, from this topic on tonight, a faith that releases God's power. A faith that releases God's power. Will you help me in getting this message out in the atmosphere by repeating its topic after me? Let me hear the church shout out, a faith that releases God's power. One more time for the Holy Trinity. Let me hear the church shout out, a faith that releases God's power. This third time for the Holy Trinity, and with uplifted voices, as though you know that you have a faith that will release God's power in your life. Let me hear you shout it out this way: I have a faith.
I have a faith.
I'm not talking back to me already. Let me get the church shout out: I have a faith.
I have a faith
that releases God's power. Now, if you believe that, won't you put those blessed hands together? Come on and give the Lord some praise. The Bible, brothers and sisters, it declares that without faith, that it is impossible to please God. And I would suggest to you that when God is pleased, that his power is released in our lives. It is when our faith is in action that it becomes a faith that releases God's power in our lives, to where the impossible suddenly becomes possible. It is when our faith, brothers and sisters, having a faith that releases God's power, and it is in action. It is when the world will say no to you, but this faith that releases God's power in your life will take a world's no and turn it into a divine yes. It is a faith that releases God's power, that when it is in action, that people will look around you, people will surround you and be waiting for your demise, but that faith in action will take what they meant for evil and God will utilize it for your good. And it is tonight, my brothers and my sisters, that we witness this woman in the text that has a faith that actually releases God's power in her life. We witness, brothers and sisters, from her action that if you're going to have a faith that releases God's power, we know that it is a faith that takes and perseveres problems. It is right there in verse number 25 and 26 of this text. This woman in our text, it is revealed to us that she had problems. Let me give the church shout, she had problems. And we know here that this woman, she didn't just have a problem, but this woman, she had a fourfold problem. She had a physical problem. She had an emotional problem. She had a financial problem. She had a medical problem as well. When we look at this text, we discover that her physical problem involves blood that was flowing and never stopping. We know her emotional problem it was that she had suffered many things for 12 years and her situation did not get better. She also had a financial problem because she had exhausted all of her money and she had lost all of her money trying to get better. We also know that she had a medical problem because the physicians, their treatments, they did not work. This woman, she had a fourfold problem. However, we know something interesting in this story about this woman and her fourfold problem. This woman, in having a fourfold problem, she did not allow for her problems to stop her from believing that her life could be turned around. In other words, this woman, she persevered. Let me hear the church shout, she persevered. This woman, she was unique because although she had a fourfold problem, she was yet living with this fourfold problem. The question becomes of the text and of this woman, how was it, sis, were you able to keep on living? How was it, sister, that you were able to press on with all that you were dealing with? Tell me, sis, how were you able to function with all that you had on your plate? I believe that if that sister was here on tonight, I believe that she would say to us and suggest to us that the reason or the way that I was able to keep on with all that I had on my plate, the way that I was able to keep on pressing on with the struggles in my life, the way that I was able to function with having this fourfold problem, that it was not my money, it was not my friends, it was not my family, it wasn't who I was connected to, it was not my zip code, but what it was my faith. It was my faith that gave me the power to persevere with a physical problem. It was my faith that allowed me to be encouraged to persevere over my emotional problem. It was my faith that allowed me to move in the midst of having a medical problem. It was my faith that gave me the fuel that I needed to keep on pressing on, even with a financial problem. Come here tonight. Can you hear this woman? I believe if she was in the Baptist church, she would bust out and start singing trouble in my way. I had to cry sometimes. So much trouble. I had to cry sometimes. I lay awake at night, but that's all right. But I knew that Jesus, that he would fix it after a while. And if y'all don't mind having a little church with me up in here on tonight, is there anybody in this house under the sound of my voice and you had trouble in your life? You had the heartache in your life. I wish I had some worshipers in here. Somebody that didn't mind admitting. I know you want to look good on the moderator's night, but there's support and there's a favor that is greater than a moderator. But there's a worshiper that has to be lifted up to our God because a moderator won't be able to do it. Your money won't be able to do it. But it is your favor in your God that gives you the power with trouble in your life, heartache in your life, pain in your life, but with God in your life and faith in God, you'll be able to make it through whatever it is that you're going through. tell you, beloved, that this is the type of faith that you must have to take and release God's power in your life. You have to have a faith that will persevere your problems. You have to have a faith that will persevere your tears. You have to have a faith that will persevere your pain. You have to have a faith that will persevere your trouble. You have to have a faith that will persevere your enemies. You have to have a faith that will persevere your trials. And I thank God tonight for this woman in this text, because although she had this fourfold problem, we witnessed from this sister that she had the type of faith that will persevere her problems. She did not allow what she was challenged with and what she was dealing with to quench her faith. She did not allow for the struggles in her life to take and to dictate and determine to her what she would believe. She did not allow for her struggle to strangle her holding on and holding out and believing in God. And I want to challenge somebody in here on tonight. Yes, you look good in your black and your gold, but the truth is that when you left home, you had troubles. When you left the hotel room, you had troubles. And you're sitting in a sanctuary and you have troubles. But I want to encourage you on tonight that if you're going to see your future exceptionally through favor, that you must have a favor that will persevere the trouble in your life. I may be down right now, but I just believe that I won't be down always. I may be broke right now, but I don't believe that I will be broke always. I may have a crushed heart right now, but I don't believe that a heart it will be crushed always. And is there anybody in this church on tonight that has that kind of faith that will persevere your problems? A faith that releases God's power is a faith that perseveres problems. But then also it is a faith that releases God's power. It is a faith that perceives what is possible. Look right there in verse number 27 of the text. The Bible says that when she heard about Jesus, that word heard about David is a cool in the Greek, and the grammatical voice it is an active, which would mean that this woman, though she had this fourfold problem, she kept her ear open to hear that things would get better. But the question becomes, what did she hear about Jesus? The Bible, it is silent, and yet it is not silent as to what she heard about Jesus. Because one has to look and begin to back up, to look and to see what all had transpired since Jesus showed up in the region. One begins to ask the question, could she have heard about the 10 citywide revival that the former demon-possessed man led after being healed by Jesus? Could she have heard about the storm that nearly took the lives of Jesus and the disciples until he woke up and spoke to the storm and said, "Peace, be still"? Could she have heard about the withered hand worshiper that met him in the synagogue and now his hand is whole? Could she have heard about the bedridden paralytic who was going to the rooftop and no longer was his bed woman heard. But the Bible says that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So she heard about Jesus, and her faith allowed her to perceive what is possible. The question tonight for each one of us in here on tonight is your ear open to hear about what the Lord has done for your neighbor? Is your ear open to hear about the ways that He has made in the life of your friends? Is your ears open to hear about how the Lord has turned somebody's life around? Are your ears open to hear how the Lord put food on somebody's table? And while you are hungry, it lets you know that if God is still in the blessing business, and if He can bless my neighbor, then I know that the Lord, He can bless me. The question becomes, is your ear open to hear about the good works that the Lord has done? It was her faith. It was her faith. She had her ears open. She had a fourfold problem. And she had her ears open. And she kept hearing about what the Lord was doing. I want to encourage somebody. You may be in your now looking at your future. And it may look dark and dim. I want to tell you, keep your ears open. You got to be careful as to what you listen to. You also got to be careful as to who you listen to. You don't want the wrong person in your life. You don't want nobody that's always mad around you. You don't want nobody that's always looking doom and gloom around you. You don't want nobody in your ear that can't even crack a smile and God bless them with a brand new day. I wish y'all could talk back to me. You don't want nobody in here that's always murmuring and complaining. You need to tell me you can't even fix your mouth to stop murmuring and complaining, to look at the goodness and the mercy that God has given in your life, to where you don't have time enough to murmur and to complain about what ain't going right. Excuse my abundance, but I got enough that is going right. My good days, they outweigh my bad days. And that's what I could complain but I will not complain. How He bless my children, I won't complain. Food on my table, I won't complain. Clothes on my back, I won't complain. Shoes on my feet, I won't complain. Clothes in my right mind, I won't complain. I got health in this body of mine, I won't complain. Haters keep on hating, but I keep on ticking. I won't complain. I'm wondering here tonight, is there anybody in here that feels the way that I feel? You got your ears open. You're trying to hear the goodness of God. And when you think about the goodness of the Lord, you don't have time to complain. You don't have time to murmur. You don't have time to be defeated because you heard about how the Lord is still in the blessing business. Her faith, it began to shape her view of her future. It was her faith that prevented her from being paralyzed by her present problems. It was her faith that said that she would be healed. It was her faith that allowed her to see what was not as though it were. This woman had a faith that released God's power in her life. And this faith that released God's power in her life, it was a faith that persevered problems. It was a faith that perceived what is possible. But finally, it is a faith, brothers and sisters, that releases God's power. It is a faith that proclaims the probable. Look there in verse 28, 29 in your text. The Bible says that this woman, I like this, she said, if only I may touch His clothes. She said, I shall, be made well. Here we are exposed to her faith language. In the Greek, that word if is common in the Greek. And this Greek word come, It is an adverbial concessive, which would translate that this woman's faith language, it really is an emphatic concessive that really is saying, even if I touch his clothes. Her faith was not doubting, but her faith was suggesting, in her faith language, it was suggesting that she believed that there was enough power in Jesus. That this power was not only contained in his body, but there was so much power in Jesus that the clothes that he wore were also affected by the power that was in the body of the incarnate. Jesus had so much power in this woman's faith, she believed that she didn't even have to touch the man. But if I just touch the clothes, if I just get close enough to him and just touch his clothes, she began to open up her mouth, and she began now to take and to speak what she believed. She began to open up her mouth, and she began to say what her future would look like. She began to open up her mouth, and she began to say what she believed was going to happen in her life. She began to open up her mouth, and she began to speak what she believed was going to happen in her future. And this is not a name it and claim it up, but what she spoke was what Jesus had already done for somebody else. She began to say that in her mind that if he has the power to speak to the winds and the waves, then I'm sure that the Lord has the power to calm the storm in my life. She began to speak what the Lord had already done in the life of somebody else. If the Lord can take and regulate a fever in Peter's mother-in-law, I know that the Lord, that he is able to take and to calm my diseased body. Oh yes, indeed. If the Lord is able, yes, to take and to give a man with 1.5 hands, to let him now have 2 whole hands. I'm certain, I am for certain that the Lord, if he can make him whole, he can sure enough make me whole as well. Oh yes, indeed. Since you see that woman, yes, Lord, moving through the crowd, moved by her faith, to just tell her that if you would just touch the Lord's coming, that your body, it will be made whole. And I don't know about you and how you may feel tonight, but I believe somebody in here, you need to open up your mouth and you need to start speaking what the Lord has already done for your neighbor. Begin to speak it in your life. Oh yes, indeed. My Bible tells me that when this woman touched the Lord, my Bible says that immediately the fountain of her blood, that it was dried up. Oh yes, Lord. She felt in her body that she was healed of her affliction. This is the faith, y'all, that releases God's power in your life. But I'm going to ask you this here question. Have you any rivers that seem uncrossable? Have you any mountains that you cannot turn through? Well, I need to tell you that God, he specializes in things called impossible, and he will do with no other power, with no
one more thing. Has he made a way for you? Has he opened up doors?